In the long, violent history of Nigeria, no chronicle of crime and terror is complete without the name Mohammed Yusuf, the man who opened the gates of hell and gave it a home in the northeast. His name still crawls through the ruins of Borno like smoke that never clears. He was not a reformer nor a misunderstood preacher, but the founder of a terror that would devour even his own bloodline. Born in 1970 in Girgiri, Yobe State, Yusuf came from humble beginnings, but chose an extraordinary path of destruction. In 2002, he built a small sect in Maiduguri. His voice was calm, yet venomous. He preached that schools were corrupt, doctors were sinners, and the Nigerian state was a puppet of unbelievers. He called his movement Jama'atu Ahlis Sunnah Lidawati wal Jihad, but the world came to know it as Boko Haram, meaning Western education is forbidden. His words slithered through the alleys of poverty, finding the ears of the desperate, the hopeless, the forgotten. They listened, they obeyed, and soon they began to kill. Behind the pulpit, Yusuf lived like a king among beggars. 4 wives, 11 children, and a Mercedes-Benz. In a city where people fetched water from broken pipes, he called Western life sinful, but hid behind its luxuries. His hypocrisy wasn't a secret, it was a strategy. To his followers, even his excess looked divine. By 2009, Boko Haram had become a cancer. They burned schools, they murdered policemen, they bombed churches and mosques alike. For 5 bloody days, Nigeria bled. From Bauchi to Maiduguri, over 1,000 dead. Civilians, children, and soldiers trapped in the chaos. The uprising ended with Yusuf captured alive. Bruised breathing and defiant cameras caught him smiling under police custody. Minutes later, he was dragged outside, pushed to the ground, and shot. The police called it an escape attempt. Everyone else called it what it was, an execution. The state killed the man, but not the idea. From Yusuf's ashes rose a darker fire. Abubakar Shekau, his most devoted student. Where Yusuf's poison came in words, Shekau's came in bullets. He declared war on everything that moved. Schools, churches, mosques, markets. Under his rule, Boko Haram became a black hole, devouring lives across Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. In April 2014, the world watched in horror as his men kidnapped 276 schoolgirls from Chibok. Shekau laughed on camera, boasting that he would sell them in the market. To him, life was cheap and suffering was sacred. But the story did not end there. Among Yusuf's children was a son, Habib Yusuf, known as Abu Musab al-Barnawi. He grew up in the shadow of his father's ideology and watched as Shekau twisted it into madness. By 2016, al-Barnawi broke away, backed by ISIS. He declared himself the rightful heir of Boko Haram and founded ISWAP, the Islamic State West Africa province. And so the terror turned inward. Shekau's Boko Haram and Barnawi's ISWAP became enemies, each calling the other blasphemer. The son of the founder fought the student of the founder. Nigeria's forests became graveyards for men who once prayed side by side. In May 2021, ISWAP invaded Sambisa Forest, Shekau's stronghold. They surrounded him, tried to make him surrender. Instead, he pulled the pin of a suicide vest and blew himself apart, killing his captors in the process. The monster chose fire over submission. Even the Nigerian army, watching from afar, refused to intervene. A family fight, some soldiers called it. Perhaps they were right. Not long after, reports emerged that al-Barnawi too had been killed. But in the fog of this endless war, truth and rumor walk hand in hand. Some say he died. Others whisper he vanished into the desert. Whatever the truth, his movement and his father's curse still breathe in the shadows from father to son, from preacher to terrorist. The line of Mohammed Yusuf is a chain of violence. He turned faith into fear, belief into bullets. He promised purity, but delivered pain. Even his public death could not bury his poison. His name became the seed of endless funerals. Today, the Northeast still trembles with the echoes of his sermons. Children grow up among ruins he created. Villages whisper of nights when the motorcycles came, when the fire started, when chanting men burned everything. In the end, Mohammed Yusuf didn't just die, he multiplied, and the smoke of his legacy still hangs over a nation searching for peace. This is the Forgotten Scrolls, where we unearth the stories the world chooses to forget. If this story moved you, share it, because silence is the soil where evil grows, and only truth can burn it out.